Hey guys, what's up? Gab here. For today's vlog, it is actually a different kind of vlog because this is a vlogger's review for the Fujifilm XA3. Stay tuned. So welcome back to my channel, and as you can see, this is quite a different vlog. I'm using my Asus Zenfone 3 right now, and I'm holding the Fujifilm XA3 camera. What I plan for this video is to give you guys a vlogger's review of the Fujifilm XA3 camera. So what that means is that this is intended for aspiring YouTubers and aspiring vloggers. Basically, I'm trying to do this review in a vlogger standpoint. This will definitely not be that in-depth or technical because I know not everyone understands the technical stuff in camera gear and gadgets or something like that. I will try as much as possible to give you guys a not so technical review of this camera, but I'm keeping in mind that this is for vloggers. Hopefully this video can help you decide on what camera to buy, and almost everyone I know and hopefully you guys who are watching this video also know that I am a Fujifilm guy, but for the review's sake I will be objective and not get biased about everything, because reviews should be honest and truthful, and I do have some issues with this XA3 camera that I will be sharing with you guys later on. Before I start discussing the specifications of this camera, let's first define, or at least try to define, the difference between a DSLR and a mirrorless camera. So in a nutshell, papadaliin ko na lang to. In a nutshell, the DSLR are those bulky cameras that has an internal mirror that is blocking the light that is passing through the lens and going to the sensor. So in DSLR cameras, there are those mechanism that makes the DSLR bodies bulky. So for mirrorless cameras, that is not an issue, although you can also find a shutter count in mirrorless cameras, but basically it just shows you the number of times that the shutter button has been released. But it is not an issue for mirrorless cameras because there are no mirror mechanisms inside the body of this mirrorless camera. So it also what makes mirrorless camera smaller in the terms of size and the body, and also the lenses will be quite smaller than the usual sizes that you will be seeing with the DSLR camera. So I hope that makes sense. I will be linking down below some articles and maybe videos that will help explain further the difference between DSLR and mirrorless cameras. But yeah, if you want to know more about the difference of the DSLR and mirrorless cameras, click the links down below. And yeah, what I have right now is the Fujifilm XA3 camera. This is what I have been using for my vlogs and my travel vlogs actually. Although usually for travel I mostly use the SJ6 Legend action camera, but I use this camera to take still photos of the places that I go to. If you see a travel vlog of mine that has pictures in the video, it was taken by this camera. This is a 24 megapixel camera. It has an APS-C type of sensor. Actually, I won't go to any more details about that. It is capable of shooting 1080p 60 frames per second, full HD video quality, and it has a 180-degree tiltable screen, so you can take selfies with it, frame your vlogs or videos with it if you want to see if you are in the frame. The size of the screen is 3 inches, and actually touch screen also, so you can touch to focus or touch to shoot. This is also capable of Wi-Fi connectivity to the Android app, and which means you can take photos and then transfer your photos to your phone and then directly upload it to Instagram or Facebook, or maybe edit your photos using Adobe Lightroom but for mobile. That's one of the good feature of this camera. So it also has a 1260 milliampere battery. I haven't tested continuous video recording with this camera. As far as my vlogging experience with this camera, I can shoot vlogs for about 3 to 4 hours or 4 to 5 hours of using the camera, but that is on off and then stopping and starting a recording. But yeah, I don't shoot continuously for my vlog. I sometimes turn off the camera to save battery, so I just shoot moments that I think will be awesome for the vlog. I guess it depends on your usage. Typically a 1260 milliampere battery would most likely give you up to 1 hour or 1.5 hour continuous recording. I guess I'll be doing a test for that, how much video it can record during a full battery. I'll do a separate video for that, but yeah, let's focus on the review. Let's start with the Pro. What I like about this camera is that it's lightweight. It is also small. It can fit literally at the palm of my hand, but of course without a lens. But you know, this is so small and compact. It can be easily stored in your backpacks and sling bags or something like that. So it's very handy and convenient in the sense that you don't have to buy bulky camera bags for this. You can just use smaller one, and just make sure that it is padded, of course, because traveling without pad on the bag of the camera will increase the chance of this being damaged by the bumps of the rides, or prevention is better than cure. I also like the flippable screen. So of course I do vlogs, so most of the time this camera will be up in front of my face, and then at least I know where I'll be looking at when I'm vlogging, or at least I know if I am still in the frame or am I out of the frame, or if the focus is on point or something. Also, Fujifilm is known for great photos, taking great photos, so this is actually good for beginners who want to pursue their passion for photography, or maybe just a hobbyist. This is a good starter camera. It takes 24 megapixel images. It has several modes that are very useful for beginners. For me, I use manual all the time, and I also shoot in RAW and not JPEG, so that I can manipulate it later on during post-process or when editing using Lightroom or Photoshop. So yeah, this camera is definitely recommended for photographers, aspiring ones, and those wanting to start a photography hobby. So another thing that I like about this camera is actually the buttons, the placement of the button and the dials that can be found on this camera. It gives the user easy access to certain settings, and also you can actually edit what these buttons can do. It is useful also for changing the settings on the fly because of these functions and dials and buttons. You know, if you have seen some of my vlogs, sometimes you will hear a sound like this, especially during filming a bright scene or a dark scene. You will hear me adjust this dial, because since I shoot in manual mode, this changes the shutter speed. The image will also look brighter and all that. This is one of the cons. The buttons and the dials take a while for a normal or a new user to get used to. They also might get overwhelmed by these functions and buttons. So my tip for you is just read the manual and familiarize yourself with the buttons and what they do and how you can use them in your videos and your photos. I'm putting it in the con because if you're using just your phone and then upgrading to a mirrorless camera like Fujifilm, you might get overwhelmed by this. So I'll put that as a con. Although it's not really, I guess, a con, but I'm trying to put myself in a new user perspective. And so yeah, when I first got this camera, since I was a DSLR user, I kind of got overwhelmed by these buttons actually. But when I started to use it more and then getting the grasp of what each button does, yeah, it's quite easy for me now to use this camera. Okay, one of the things that you guys, vloggers or new YouTubers should look out for buying a camera is the autofocus. Sadly, so this is a real talk right here. Sadly, the autofocus for this camera XA3 is quite slow. Because of the horrible autofocus, I resorted to doing manual focus. That's also why some of my clips in the vlogs or the videos that I do, that I sometimes put in the vlogs, are out of focus because it is in manual mode. So sometimes the spur of the moment makes me forget to set the focus again. So that's something that I actually want, hopefully, Fujifilm to improve on, because I really love Fujifilm cameras. But yeah, the autofocus is not great. So I've yet to try fast lens with this camera. I'm currently using just the kit lens. So hopefully that I don't know if it will improve the autofocus functions. Hopefully it does. But yeah, I'm planning to buy a fast lens because I'm hearing, or I've been reading about some feedback with fast lenses that it actually quite improves the autofocus. So I'm still saving up for that lens because it's quite pricey. Hopefully soon I can try it out and see for myself if it does help. But for now, I'm sticking with this one. I'm stuck with this one. One of the cons that I see for this camera is it doesn't have dual card slots like DSLRs. Although that's a minor issue, I guess, because I guess this was intended or marketed or targeted towards casual users. So it just have a single SD card slot. Cameras with dual SD card slots is actually useful because when the first SD card becomes full, it automatically writes the file to the secondary SD card, so you don't have to change SD cards every now and then. So I guess what you need to do is buy larger capacity of SD card, so you won't have to change as much. So lastly, and actually this is a mystery for me right now, because I saw a vlogger do a review of this camera and she compared it with an EOS M3, and then the output is actually better than what I've been putting out. I mean, the quality of the video that she shot using this exact model XA3 is different from what I've been rendering. So I'm trying to find out if it's the firmware of this camera in the left, is it the codec that I use in my editing laptop, or maybe I just need to update Vegas Pro or something like that. So I'm still trying to figure out why I cannot achieve the certain sharpness that the video of this vlogger, I'll link her down below. Actually, the video output, that the video comparison that she showed, or her review of this camera, is actually quite informative as well. So yeah, I'll link it down below, so watch it later after this video to see how what she thinks about this camera. So yeah, actually that's one of my issues right now with this. Hopefully I can solve it soon so I can provide better quality videos for you guys. My final thoughts for this camera is that if you want to start your photography hobby, and or you want to rekindle your love for photography, this is a good buy. Mirrorless cameras are now actually competing head to head now with DSLR cameras, and for vlogging, since this is a vlogger's review, I'll rate it as good enough to start with, but definitely there are better cameras out there, especially ones with good autofocus. Yeah, would I recommend this for vlogging? I would say as a starter or as a beginner kit, then yes, I'll recommend this for beginners. But if you have extra budget, I would definitely suggest to invest in a better camera for video, of course. Most of the YouTubers suggest the G7X Mark II of Canon. XA3 is definitely a good camera if you're just starting out. It will also be a good starting camera for photographers or aspiring photographers. And yeah, I'm a Fuji lover, but there will be issues that will be encountered. I still love Fuji, of course, but yeah, there are no perfect systems anyway. There are no perfect systems, but there are always room for improvement. So my verdict is it's good enough to start with, at least. Let me leave you with this thought. It's not about the gear that you have. It's what you do with the current resources you have and the story or the content that you will be sharing with the world. Yeah, that's it for this vlog. Again, leave it a thumbs up if you like this video. Leave a comment below if you have questions and just want to engage or discuss things about this topic. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the subscribe button below, and click the notification bell if you want to see more videos from me. I am aiming for my channel to reach 100 subs before or within August of this year. Hope you guys help me reach that goal, and I hope I have brought you value with this video, and see you in the next one.